The United States is actually really unique, even among world democracies, because we have both a vibrant First Amendment protection, stronger for freedom of speech than almost any country in the world, and a vibrant Second Amendment that has been constitutionalized and gives us the constitutional right to keep and bear arms. We haven't had any commentary from the United States Supreme Court about what to do at the intersection of these two rights. Part of what we're seeing here is this question of whether the presence of heavy firearms at a protest changes the dynamic of that protest in a way that moves from being an exercise of the Second Amendment rights of some parties to being an infringement of the First Amendment rights of others, right? You have the right to say things that hurt other people's feelings. You have the right to say things that make other people nervous. You have the right to protest in ways that make other people uncomfortable. The question is whether there's some boundary that could be crossed here. Certainly, the Supreme Court has recognized that if someone engages in a behavior that rises to the level of being what the court calls a true threat, then it loses its First Amendment protection. And your capacity to express yourself with a weapon in your hand changes. The bare existence of the firearm on their person under Utah state law isn't necessarily a threat against another person. It's an exercise of the open carry right. What we don't know is whether the presence of firearms in public, and particularly a large number of firearms in public, is something that the court might find to be intimidating enough to rise to the level of a true threat. The people who are protesting with firearms are, of course, not just invoking Second Amendment rights, although they definitely are invoking those. They're also invoking their own First Amendment rights. They are protesting and expressing themselves and are arguing, in at least some circumstances, that the guns and the presence of their firearms are part of their message. I mean, these last couple of months have certainly put us in a position where we might expect that the courts are going to have to tussle with some of these hard questions about what to do when one constitutional right butts up against another. It's actually, in some respects, quite remarkable that we've had since 1790 to have some of these conflicts emerge and haven't had the chance to sort of tussle with them. But it's also a uniquely modern problem with modern firearms and with modern protest movements. And so sometimes it takes time for the Constitution to catch up with the problems that we face in the real world.